Hello. Okay, this is the first psychic art painting I have created, and I won't go into too much very personal detail, but looking at it, yeah, it's quite messy, but that's okay. I expected it to be so. Most people's would be just the same. It has all the chakra colours, but they're not where they should be, and there's reasons why they're not where they should be. Some of them are quite mucky and cloudy, and there's reasons for that as well. So where do we start? Well, let's start down here. All this purple. This purple indicates that you have a deep, deep spiritual connection. You are probably quite psychic, even if you don't know it, and you've had it from birth. Now, the reason I say you've had it from birth, well, we're all born with the gifts, but yours has been quite strong from birth because the purple's the bottom half of the painting. So for me, conception's down here. The purple I would have expected to see more of it up here. Now this messy squiggle in here, to me, represents a fish or a tadpole, which implies several things. It implies that obviously you were conceived with this energy around you within your being, but it's also stifled now and out of kilter because of the energies that were around when you were conceived, and also in your early formative years. Now I can say that because of this murky mess over here below your base chakra colour. Now it's red, it doesn't show up that well in the camera, but you'll know when you see the painting that that strip there is red, whereas this section above it is a bright orange, but it's hard to see it on the camera. Now that is right below your base chakra, which tells me that in your early years you were stifled in terms of your base chakra, insecure, in many ways brought on just purely through childhood issues. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's a face there. Do you see the two eyes in the mouth? You see that? That's you as a child trying to speak and possibly not being heard or not being respected the way you should have been respected. And it's had an effect on your base chakra. Okay, so as an adult now, when you're feeling insecure and uncertain about certain things, a lot of it can be tied back to the childhood. Okay, now this white bit in the center is our God source energy, and we all have it. Okay, pure white energy. If you look, there's lots of little dimples and darkness around yours. Okay, you can see that your purple crown chakra is connecting into it and wrapped right around it. So that tells you that your spiritual nature is tied to your creator, but it's light and it's murky. Okay, all the other colours around it are melting into it, which is affecting it to a certain degree. You'll notice this dark section here. It's blocking your psychic and spiritual connection with God, to your heart chakra, to your sacral chakra, that orange bit in there. The heart chakra is green. Yours is quite dark with bits of light green in it. So that tells me your heart chakra has the right energies, but it's being blocked and it has been damaged just through life. So it's out of kilter as well. Okay. Now you might not be able to see it that clearly, but to me, that's a man there lying with his hand out. These are like falling men. Does that make sense to you? These are like their feet and legs falling. So if you look from right to left, it looks like a man falling. There's another man falling, and there's another man falling, and you can see the face there. Can you see the face? Okay, and that's his hand. That's his hand. He's on the ground. His head's resting on his hand. So that tells me that your heart chakra is very out of kilter. And again, the darkness around it here could be attributed to it just needs healed. And a lot of the healing, if you notice, the green is mixed in with this mad, mucky colour. And this mad, mucky colour is blocking your psychic and spiritual connection to God. It's also affecting your heart chakra, because if our heart chakra isn't fully open and clean, then we struggle to connect into here. And if you notice in this picture, there's none of your heart chakra green colour touching your God source centre. So that's definitely something that would need addressed and cleaned. Equally, if you go over here, the mucky green goes into a blue. Now blue's your throat chakra, and this blue's quite mucky as well. And part of that muckiness is caused by situations where perhaps like there's a slight tinge there that matches down here. Okay, now that tinge matches down here because chances are in your younger years you were probably speaking but were not heard. Does that make sense? You were maybe not listened to when you needed to be listened to. And this throat chakra is very small here. There's a very small section of blue, which tells me a lot of the time you struggle to say what needs to be said in the right way, and you're struggling to have your voice heard. This is peeling out very quickly, and it's mucky. That's a mucky blue. That's not the colour of blue your chakra should be. Your throat chakra should be a lovely bright blue. That's mucky. So for me, your throat chakra is out of whack, and it could stem from childhood where you weren't heard when you needed to be heard, okay? Or you weren't spoken to over the years. This could be through teenage years where you perhaps weren't spoken to with the right level of kindness or generosity, spoken to in a harsh manner. We've all experienced that as children and as adults, maybe in places of work. It's very mucky here around this orange. The blue going into this orange is very, very messy. The orange is your sacral chakra, which affects your self-esteem. Okay, so I would not be surprised at all. And that orange is quite mucky. The orange down here is a lot brighter. The orange down here is a lot brighter. But the fact that there's orange there, there's orange there, and there's orange there, tells me your sacral chakra is really, really disjointed and out of connection with you as a being and with itself, okay? But this here would tell me that you probably don't have a voice the way you should, or you haven't got the confidence to speak the way you sometimes need to speak because of low self-esteem issues, okay? Now, if you notice, this orange links into the yellow, which is your solar plexus chakra, and it's mucky as well. It's not as bright and vibrant as it should be. And if you notice these little shapes, they're like little mountains. And part of you feels like you're constantly trying to climb a mountain. And you're just climbing through darkness. Now, that could be well within your personal life, any aspect of your personal life, but for me, those steps are all in darkness right now. So you're struggling to see the light. You're struggling to see the right way forward. You're struggling possibly to make the right decisions that you need to make with any aspect of your life. And I would be surprised if more often than not, you don't make decisions and then let it go. That was a bad choice. All right. Now, we'll come out of that darkness bit and we'll go here. Pink. Higher heart chakra colour. Again, it's not in the right place. The pink and the green should be connected. And here they're not. So that tells me your heart and your higher heart chakras are disjointed. But the beautiful thing is the pink in here is relatively clean, which would indicate to me that you actually have a good heart. You're not a bad person. All right, there's a bit of murk down here, and there's a bit of murk here. So that tells me that perhaps sometimes, and here as well actually, perhaps sometimes when you're trying to do the right thing, you don't always succeed in doing the right thing because something else mucks you up, okay? You end up getting shanghaied to go down a different route, or somebody has an influence over you that they shouldn't have. But you're quite soft-natured, is what I would say looking at this. There's a large section of pink there, so to me, you have a good heart. to me you have a good heart, but you're not always understood, and you're certainly not always heard the way you need to be heard when you look at the darkness around here and this mucky pink into blue colour. Okay, now in truth, your higher heart chakra is just below, or your heart chakra is just below your throat chakra, so the two colours should meet on a psychic painting, but in this instance there's a bit of muck there and they're not meeting strong enough. So chances are you're struggling with heart issues, as in sadness. Chances are you would probably go into yourself quite a bit, become quite reserved, because people just don't understand what you're saying or what you need them to understand, and that ties into this mess here. Okay, the throat chakra. So again, another chakra that would need a bit of work, but it's not impossible to fix. All right, now where do we go from here? If you notice around the entire outside edge, there is white. White is clean energy, pure energy, positive energy. So you do have the ability to draw clean energy toward yourself. You do have the ability to attract light into dark. Light will repel all darkness, but the problem is most people don't know how to draw the light into their lives. Okay, and that's something we can talk about if you want a conversation after this video anyway. But certainly there is a lot of light on the outside, but it's not getting into your God center where it needs to be because of past issues, traumas, hurts, damage that was done to you, mentally, emotionally, whatever way you want to look at it. There definitely has been issues, and a lot of it stemmed from the point of conception. Okay. The beautiful thing is your psychic connection, your spiritual nature is not lost. There is purple all the way around your God source power center, and that's a positive thing. Okay, you do have the connection, you do have the ability to turn all this muck into really bright, vibrant colours going forward. Takes time, but you can only start when you start, and you can't fix anything until you do start and are willing to accept these things happen to me, but I'm now ready to get rid of all that junk and garbage that I'm carrying within my head. And to be fair to you, most of this darkness is not of your own making. Okay, it's been imposed on you by others around you during your younger formative years, but you now are an adult, so you now have the choice to process all of that, get rid of it and be clean, or stay with it and let yourself become darker. Okay, if you wanted an easier way to think of this painting right now, just look at it as an instant imprint of your aura right now. Okay, and our aura can change every 10 seconds, it can change every 5 minutes, depending on what we're doing with our day. Okay, but I hope that makes sense to you. Obviously, you and I will have a conversation after this video to discuss it in greater depth if you need to. But obviously, I wanted to make this video as unpersonal as possible so that I can share it, and I will only share it if you agree. Okay, so by all means, give me a shout and we will discuss it. Okay, and thank you for allowing me to do it. I've actually enjoyed doing it. I did most of it with my eyes closed, so I wasn't sure what to expect when it came out. But I hope you can see the falling man, or the many falling men. You've probably fallen quite a few times, especially in areas of the heart and romance. Okay, maybe you wear your heart in your sleeve a wee bit, or maybe you're a wee bit insecure about your abilities and your what you bring to a relationship. But I don't want you to be thinking like that. Okay, you're perfectly acceptable just as you are. Okay, and remember, all this shit, all this darkness comes from the younger years. Okay, it doesn't define you as a person, as an adult. All right, so thank you. As I say, I hope you enjoy this. I hope it makes sense. I might have confused you even more, I hope not. But by all means, give me a shout and we can discuss it in more detail. Thank you. Bye bye.